Hi, I'm Val, and you're watching videos about life. Well, little funny story here. I got so excited about my last stop that I forgot to record the intro. So I'm kind of adding it in now. That happens sometimes. Anyways, I think you're going to enjoy this video. So I was driving along to my next destination when I saw the sign that said 1 mile to the Home on the Range cabin. I had to come and see what this was all about. Welcome to the Home on the Range site. This site, located on Beaver Creek in Smith County, Kansas, was the inspiration for the famous song, Home on the Range. Dr. Brewster Higley moved to the area in the early 1870s. He loved this home so much it inspired him to write a poem, My Western Home. After a friend found the poem folded up in one of Higley's books, he says, "This is pretty good. You ought to get it published." So Higley took it down to the Smith County Pioneer and had it published in 1874. After that, he gave the poem to his friend David E. Kelly. Now, Kelly was a musician and he put the poem to music, but he thought it needed a refrain. He added the line, "Home, home on the range," which, if you read Higley's original poem, that never actually appears. Kelly was also part of a four-person band, the Harlan Orchestra, and they started performing the song. The song soon became a favorite ditty, often sung by cowboys sitting around the campfire or riding on the Chisholm Trail. But popularity did die down, well, at least until the 1930s, when Franklin Roosevelt declared it was his favorite song. Then, of course, the song became very popular and everybody wanted a piece of it, and a lot of them even claimed they wrote it. But because Higley had taken his friend's advice and had it published in the paper in 1874, that was the proof needed to show that Higley actually had written it, and he had written it right here on this site while living in this cabin. In 1947, Home on the Range became the official state song of Kansas. Okay, can we go inside? Yes. All right. So this is the cabin. It's got an upstairs room. Okay. Home on the Range donations. Photo album. Okay. That's donors. Sorry. That's where you can leave some donations. Okay. While Brewster Higley is responsible for writing the song and building the cabin, it was actually Pete and Ellen Rust who saved it for history. Now, when the Rust moved in 1933, they and everyone else knew the significance of the song, but by that time the cabin was already in disrepair and it was even being used as a chicken coop. The Rusts weren't rich or anything like that. They just lived here humbly. However, after all the legal stuff was settled and it was proven this is where the song was written, well, they started getting some pretty good financial offers for the cabin. The problem is the people who wanted to buy the cabin wanted to move it, and the Rusts knew the historical significance of the cabin and how important it was that it stayed here. Over the years, they did do some restoration starting in the 1950s, and finally in 1973, the site was listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. The Rusts finally came into some money in the 70s when they were able to sell off some of the appreciated land, but they still continued to protect this site and the history of it. Even after death, they still support it financially, and they made sure it was donated to a charitable organization. That organization is the People's Heartland Foundation. Now, the foundation keeps this open to the public from dawn till dusk, and it's free of charge because they believe history should be free for everyone to explore.
Sometimes you just got to take small detours, you know? Okay, so we're not going to make it all the way up, but this is where they probably all slept. And downstairs was, you know, the kitchen and the living room. No TV. Not in those days. Oh. So yeah, here's where they would have cooked and eaten and cleaned up and everything. All right. Okay. Okay. My Western home. The Brewsters Dr. Brewster Higley wrote the words, Dan Kelly supplied the music, and the Harlem Brothers Orchestra started the new song, Home on the Range, on its way from my heart of the nation to the nation's heart. A home where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard. Whoops, I guess I don't even know the words, huh? My Western home, a home where the deer and the antelope play, where never is heard a discouraging word, and the sky is not clouded all day. All right, there we go. We don't really have time to walk the trail, unfortunately. As you know, we're on a limited schedule. Okay. Aha. Going to have to get some more change, but there we go. We can definitely make a donation here, because how cool is this? That just driving along, we saw the sign, and we got to see where Home on the Range was written. And it's a historical site. They allow people to come and just visit it. And you know what? That's what road trip and adventures are all about. All right. Yeah, besides forgetting to record the video, I forgot to record the ending too. But just want to say that some of your best adventures are ones you don't even know you're going to take. So until we meet again, I hope all of your adventures, whether they're planned or unplanned or whatever, can be as fun and fascinating as this one was. Till later. Bye-bye.